So today we're talking about Ryan Murphy's crazy series over on FX The Beauty. And if you thought modern beauty standards and Ozempic culture were getting out of control, imagine a sexually transmitted disease that makes you a literal supermodel, but wait, not before boiling your insides and making you combust into a cloud of red mist. So I covered a 3-episode premiere, but we have to talk about that unhinged 2-part finale. We've got Evan Peters stuck in a child's body. We've got Ashton Kutcher playing a tech bro billionaire having a moral crisis. And we have enough Cronenberg body horror to make you swear off any skincare routines for the rest of your life. So let's go ahead and get into it. So it started as a stylish, globe-trotting detective show with Cooper and Jordan tracking down basically these exploding supermodels, turned into a full-blown war against the corporation. Byron Frost, who is played by Ashton Kutcher, he engineered this miracle drug to be a trillion-dollar cosmetic empire. And he uses Anthony Ramos' character, the assassin, to basically clean up his loose ends. But the back half of the season showed us that you can't even control the virus. Instead of making people hot, the mutations are starting to have side effects, turning people into literal monsters. And in Cooper's case, it de-aged him all the way back to being a kid. This show is a terrifying look at vanity, basically asking the question, what would you do to be perfect? But before we break down that insane, gooey, Cocoon cliffhanger, if you're loving these deep dives, please hit that like and subscribe button and keep coming back for more. But like I said, the first half of the season was all about the cover-up. Cooper and Jordan were finding out that these beautiful people didn't win some type of genetic lottery. They caught a virus that was described as some messed up version of HIV and rabies. But by the time we hit the later episodes, the secret is out and we find out that basically everybody up under the sun is trying to find a way to get injected or get infected with this virus in some type of way. And that's what led to all those insane, bone-cracking, body horror scenes. Now, the real turning point in the finale was when everything hit Byron Frost's own family. His sons called themselves listening to him and all his bitching and complaining that he does to them. So they decided to do something about it. They took their mother and they forced her to take the beauty, and while they thought this would please their father, this did anything but the sorts. Yes, she transforms into her younger self, and she is not happy about it at all. She goes off on Byron about it, and she tells him everything under the sun about how basically she'd rather be dead than be in that body and how she earned her body. And after she got done tearing a hole into him, she slit her throat. And she didn't die, but she did fall into a coma. And this is the moment where our seemingly untouchable villain finally breaks. Seeing his wife in a coma basically derails him in all of his plans. He starts to settle lawsuits that are starting to come in from the beauty and all the transformations and bad side effects that are happening to people in the real world. He shuts down all of the beauty clinics, like he wants nothing to do with any of it anymore. He wants to rebuild his image and his company and help people now. But his son, Tig, isn't feeling this at all, who has recruited Cooper, Jordan, Jeremy, and the assassin because Byron basically left them out to dry and was going to have them killed. So now they're all this one big Avengers type team, and they're going to take down the big bad wolf. And not that he's the big bad wolf anymore, but the power dynamics have definitely flipped. Now let's talk about that ending, because Evan Peters and Ryan Murphy really left us hanging there. We find out that Diana's AI robots have found a cure for the beauty, and that Cooper, who is still trapped in a child's body, is going to be the very first test subject to be cured and see what comes of it. And this is where the cliffhanger comes in, because after he volunteers to basically be patient zero, we see him go and come out in this cocoon, and he's fighting and struggling to get out of this cocoon after everybody's waiting for several hours. And then right when the cocoon busts open and everybody else saw him, they cut to black. It's like, what the fuck? We're not even going to get a chance to see Cooper now until season 2. And I forgot that this was even like a season 2 thing, because I'm so used to Ryan Murphy's things being one complete season. So the fact that now we have to wait probably until next year, because I know he's working on American Horror Story, to get a season 2 of this is actually kind of frustrating. And you will see here on this channel that one thing that I hate is a cliffhanger. And it's not that I hate cliffhangers, I hate these type of cliffhangers. If you're going to give me a cliffhanger, can you give me a little bit of a resolution? Could we at least see his face and then cut to black and be like, okay, now we know what he looks like and now we can start guessing? That would have been a little bit more satisfying. Don't you all think that? But aside from all of that, a few cool facts about the show. This show is actually based on a comic book, and the comic is by Jeremy Hahn and Jason Hurley. And the difference between the comic and the show In the comic, when the people catch the virus, they just fall asleep and they wake up beautiful. But obviously in the show, we had to amp it up to the 10th level, and they go through this whole body horror, Cocoon, sometimes transformation where I guess they wake up after all that bullshit, but it's completely different from the book. But I kind of like that change. And then the Nephra symbol that Jordan and Cooper saw, that's basically a symbol that references or it means beauty and perfection, basically teasing the cult-like obsession that we got in this show. So I'm going to give season 1 a 4 out of 5 stars. It's stylish, it's grotesque, and it's unapologetically a weird sci-fi thriller. The prosthetics and practical effects during all the transformations are top tier. It does lose a slight fraction of a point for me with some of the pacing because we had some high episodes and then we had some episodes in the middle that kind of just lulled along. But for sheer shock value alone, I think this show really deserves a 4 out of 5 at the very worst. But the beauty proves that if a drug says that it's going to make you beautiful or perfect overnight, then you might want to go ahead and read that fine print before you take it. So who or what do you think stepped out of that cocoon at the end of the season? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I have my own theories and I will let you know as well when you guys let me know. And with all that being said, thank you for coming. I appreciate your time and I will see you next time. Bye.